Today, we're going to be talking about Social Security and the retirement earnings test for those people that plan to retire before their full retirement age. I hope you enjoy. When we meet with individuals to map out a retirement income or cash flow strategy, oftentimes part of the plan for the client is they're planning to retire early. And when I say retire early, they're planning to retire before what Social Security defines as full retirement age. And that age varies a little bit. It's going to range somewhere between 66 and 67, depending on an individual's year of birth. But one of the things that frequently gets overlooked is if you're going to retire from a full-time job and maybe work part-time, or maybe you plan to continue to work, but you've talked to somebody that told you, hey, you can start drawing your Social Security as early as age 62. So why in the world would you leave that money on the table? You need to go ahead and start that at 62. Well, there's a couple of things that you need to factor in and consider if you're planning to claim your Social Security benefit early, meaning again, before your full retirement age, and continue to work. Because when you do that, when you continue to work and you draw Social Security and you haven't reached your full retirement age, then there's an earnings test that's going to come into play. Now, that earnings test varies a little bit each year. And so I've pulled up the 2022, 2023 figures here, and you can see 2022, 2023, and you'll notice they change somewhat each year. But what this is telling us is if you're planning on retiring early, let's say at age 62, and continuing to work, you're going to be limited to how much you can earn. And then in 2023, that number is $21,240. So as long as your earned income or W-2 income is less than $21,240 in the year 2023, then you can still draw your Social Security and all's good, no problem. But if you exceed that $21,240, for every $2 you go over that limit, Social Security is going to take $1 away of your benefit. You'll also notice in the year that you turn full retirement age, you have a higher threshold. You can actually make $56,520 of earned income and still draw your Social Security. Now, there's a few little caveats here. One is we need to make sure we're understanding, we're just talking about earned income. So W-2 income or self-employment income. So the question I get often from individuals is, well, does that mean if I'm taking a distribution out of my retirement account, that's going to affect me? No, the answer is no, it's not, because that's earned income. What if I have rental income? I have rental properties and they produce income. That's not going to come into the earnings test calculation. The only thing that's going to be in the earnings test calculation is W-2 income, self-employment income. So as you start mapping these things out, you want to know where you're going to land. The other thing that gets confusing, and sometimes people will get faulty information just because they're maybe asking around and asking friends and somebody that heard something, but it's not completely factual. And that is, if you have, let's say you turn 62 mid-year and you've been working and you're not planning on working past when you start drawing Social Security. I've had people tell me that, well, yeah, I was told because I've already made over $21,240, I actually can't draw this year. I need to wait till next year. That's not true. There is a special calculation that can be used one time, and it's typically going to be used in the first year that you draw. And what that does is what Social Security will do, they'll take the $21,240 limit, they'll divide it by 12. Whatever that number comes up to, they'll ask you, are you planning to make more than that per month So let's say that divides out to be about $1,900 a month. I don't know exactly what it is. But if you're not going to make more than that in any of the months after you start drawing Social Security, you're still eligible, even if you made $30 or $40 or $50,000 before the month when you started drawing Social Security. But that only can occur in 1 year. You can only do that one time. So as you can see, as we go through this, there are a lot of moving parts. There's some things that are very straightforward and upfront, and then there are some things kind of that are a little bit gray oftentimes to people. So understanding how these pieces work to coordinate together with your other assets to get you the most income ultimately that you can, and ultimately provide the most legacy if that's a desire, well, that's very important. And it's very important to piece these pieces together where they're going to get you the most benefit. So if you have questions about this, Social Security, retirement income planning, anything along those lines, please don't hesitate to give me a call here at Westside Advisors and Insurance Services. I hope you have a great week.